Hi guys, how you doing? So welcome back to another live stream. So I'm just going to put some information in the comments box, just so you know what to do if you get disconnected from this stream. If we just do this really quickly. Oh no, hang on. There we go. So I hope everyone has been keeping well. I hope everyone has been staying safe. I don't know if any of you have gone back to school yet. I think maybe a couple of you have, but I hope you've been, just having fun at home and enjoying the work that I've been setting you. So actually, this is news. Basically, this is our last stream of the term because we had our last lesson this week. Until summer. So basically, the next time I'll see you is probably in September. And hopefully I'll be seeing you in person, but we will see. Don't know if that will be happening or not. But anyway, so whoever arrives, just pop your name in the comments box so I know who's here. And then we can, go over the stuff that I've set you this week. So let's start off with my group from St. Barts. This is the group with Finley, Ella, Cleo, I think James is the other one. Let me just double check that one. I think that's right. So what we'll do is we'll just go over the stuff that we've been doing. So this week we started, we actually did a melody play along. So we played along to the backing track of, the backing track of Ode to Joy. And we did that. So the whole melody we were playing along there. Now, hopefully you found that all okay. If you found it tricky, I think I explained this in the video, but if not, I'll explain it again. What you can do is split the piece up into sections. So for example, you could do 2-bar sections. Sorry, we've got Cleo, Ella, Finley, James, and Jessica. That's what we've got. 2-bar sections, 4-bar sections. You can do it by line, however you want to do it. And if you find it tricky to play the whole way through at that speed, then just split it up and then, miss out sections and then play the sections that you've picked. So for example, if you do every 2 bars, play 2 bars, miss out the next 2 bars, play 2 bars, miss out the next 2 bars, etc. Okay, so that's what I'd like you to do for that. And then hopefully by the end of it, if you've done play 2 bars, miss 2 bars, play 2 bars, miss 2 bars, once you've played that through, then try miss 2 bars, play 2 bars, miss 2 bars, play 2 bars. That way you've played the whole piece in 2 halves, okay? And then once you've done that, hopefully you'll be able to put it all together, see if you can play the whole way through. I understand the backing track is quite fast, but if you can try and get through the whole thing, that would be really good, because that will just really solidify that right-hand part. And then I gave you a video on sharps and flats. So these are basically the black notes on the keyboard. So the way you find a sharp or a flat is you look at the note. So if it's a G note and it's got a sharp next to it, you need to go up 1 note to the black note to the right of it, and that would give you your G sharp. In the same way, if there was a D and there was a flat next to it, then you'd have to go down 1 black note there. Now, the black notes can obviously mean multiple different things. For example, you can go up from a G to a G sharp, or you can go down from an A to an A flat, and that's the same black note on the keyboard. So it just depends on which one's in the music really that you call it. But just as long as you know that an A flat is the same as a G sharp, in the same way that an A sharp is the same as a B flat. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. Generally, you're going down to a black note, but sometimes you're going down to a white note. For example, an F flat would be an E, because there's only the note right next to, is in a semitone apart from F going down, is an E. So generally, you won't see an F flat. Generally, you'll just see E, in the same way that you won't see a B sharp. A B going up 1 semitone from a B would be a C. So you generally won't see a B sharp. You'll probably just see a C. But, sometimes you might see it, so just be aware of that. And yeah, the sharps one, if it's a sharp, it looks like a hashtag sign. A flat is like a small B, and then you have the natural sign as well. So you have naturals when, say, you've been playing an E flat, and then halfway through a bar, it wants you to go back to an E natural. Then there would be an E natural sign on there. That's what that means. Now, if you've been playing A flat at the beginning of the bar, and then there's another E later on, there's nothing next to it, you have to play an E flat again because it like carries through to the end of the bar. Once the next bar starts, though, it returns back to an E if there isn't a flat in front of it. That makes sense. Okay. So basically, if there's a flat, it carries through the whole way to the bar. Once you get to the end of the bar, it resets. That's basically how the sort of the principle behind it. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, then just let me know. So hopefully we've gone through all that for you guys for this group. Now we'll move on to group 2. Oh dear, excuse me. Oh, dear Mary. Right. So we've got Ellie Bray, Harry, Iris, Jaden, and the 2 Sams from Cranleigh. So you guys, I gave you Lean on Me, right hand and left hand part 2. So you're learning basically how to play Lean on Me with both hands, but the second half of it. And obviously, as we know from when learning the melody, it's very similar. The difference is really, instead of going, we're going to go. That's the main difference from the melody. Now the left hand does change. So before we've gone 2 bars of C, 2 bars of F, 2 bars of C, and then 2 bars of G. But for this one, we're going to go, so 2 bars of C, 2 bars of F, 2 bars of C, then we're going to go 1 bar of G, and then 1 bar of C. So that's going to sound like together, those last 2 bars. Sorry. The last 2 bars are going to sound like this. Okay. G, C. Instead of going G, C, G. Okay. That's the difference really between those two. Apart from that, it's all fairly similar. So hopefully if you've done well with the first part of that, of learning both hands together, then hopefully the second part you should find slightly easier. But again, you're just trying to put it together. Just try and remember left hand chord, get that sorted for the bar, and then get the right hand part in. Now, also, I noticed this happens a couple of times with people. The rest bars in the right hand, you need to play the left hand, okay? So you can't just go. Okay, that's not right. You haven't done 2 bars of F. So you have to go. That's your bar of rest, and then play F again. Back to C, that's a bar of rest, and a C, and another C. Okay, so you do have to include those bars of rest, and when there's a bars of rest in the right hand, you play in the left hand, okay? It's really important you do that, otherwise you really change the way that the melody sounds and how the song is. And that would really throw you off if you were playing the backing track, so just remember that. And then I also gave you guys a sharps and flats video, so hopefully I've explained that in just before. Right, so hopefully there's no more questions. I can see that, yeah, I think everyone's obviously fine with it or already started their summer holidays. So I'll call it a day there. Well done, guys, and I will see you in September, hopefully. Well done. See you later.